During our first Newfoundland adventure, we became acquainted with the rugged cliffs and lovely lighthouse at Cape St. Mary's Ecological Reserve on a windy yet clear day. Add alpine wildflowers, interesting seabirds, and bird rock, a large colony of northern gannets. It was truly incredible. That's the time by. As daylight faded, I saw it from the car. Pull over here. A quick minute walk for a spectacular cotton candy sunset at Taos Cascade. Unplanned experiences can be an adventure, then a great memory. A gloomy scenic hike up a Newfoundland hill with hundreds of years of history? Yes, bye. Signal Hill has stunning coastal views of the Atlantic, and we climbed up the iconic Cabot Tower. We made it back to the bottom just as it started to rain. I enjoyed seeing many colorful houses in downtown St. John's. The best part was we experienced them daily during our adventures. An unforgettable sunset started with a late day visit to Newfoundland's Cape Spear, seeing the old and newer lighthouses, a beautiful cliffside path with great views, and then returning to observe one of the most memorable sunsets of my entire life. The light continued to change only to become more captivating. Best kind by. Fish and brews and fish cakes along Newfoundland's Irish Loop before spending 2.5 hours walking part of the beach's path in Witless Bay along the shoreline path with views of offshore islands, with some day on close by. Dildo, Newfoundland caught Jimmy Kimmel's attention as well as ours. He calls this traditional fishing village Hollywood's sister city and gifted them a sign. This town has a quirky name, great coastal views, Kimmel is honorary mayor, and a brewery with flavors like saltwater sour. Another visit to Cape Spear Lighthouse National Historic Site to check out more of the most easterly point in North America, since it's only a 20-minute drive from St. John's. In the Irish heart of Newfoundland, we checked out Fairyland Colony of Avalon 17th century archaeological site, then off to Aquaforte for a short hike, but we returned to experience the 1870 Fairyland Lighthouse at sunset for beautiful views and appreciated the stone exterior of the 1863 Holy Trinity Church. We started Spurwink Island Path mid-afternoon, even though the difficult trail is 20.4 kilometers one way. We enjoyed a side trail down to the saltwater estuary in Aquaforte and saw some seals playing in the distance. We walked as far as we wanted, turned around, and headed back towards St. John's in time to enjoy a Fairyland Lighthouse sunset. It may sound silly or questionable, even still, plant blindness is a real thing. It disconnects you from nature when you overlook or underappreciate plants around you. For the love of fishing villages, the town of Petty Harbor, Maddox Cove has coastal charm, and it's just a short drive from St. John's. Quick random stop on our drive to stretch our legs with a view and appreciate some beautiful fall leaves. A scenic adventure on an internationally recognized cliffside trail in Newfoundland with incredible coastal views of sea stacks, coves, and a beautiful beach along a 5.3 kilometer loop with 203 feet of elevation gain. Skirwing Trail has it all covered. The odds were against us spotting any puffins in September, but we still held a glimmer of hope. We didn't see any at Elliston's puffin colony site, sadly, but we did witness the world's largest puffin chair in the root cellar capital of the world. It started raining as we arrived in Dungeon Provincial Park, but that wasn't going to stop me from marveling at this heart-shaped crater encompassing two natural sea arches created by a collapsed sea cave and continuous coastal erosion. We didn't see what we were hoping to see at Cape Bonavista Lighthouse mid-September because we didn't see puffins or whales, and there definitely weren't icebergs, but we did see beautiful foxes, a rainbow, inukshooks, and the charming 1843 lighthouse. We only spent 5 hours in Terra Nova National Park, but we didn't miss out on its beauty. We detoured through a 15-minute loop on the Heritage Trail, then walked half the coastal trail to the falls, but turned back so we could visit Blue Hills Lookout for the highest point in the park, then time for one last adventure. That's wild. You're telling me, as a Canadian, in Newfoundland's Terra Nova National Park, that I got to see my country's national symbol in real life? Oh, Canada, it felt like I summoned it. After 47 minutes with no beaver sighting, Justin wanted to leave, but I knew I could spot one. It takes patience and quiet observation to over there. We watched quietly while avoiding making any sudden movements or loud noises. When the beaver came straight towards me, I felt at ease with the sand, water, and wind while walking Grossmoorn's Shallow Bay Beach coastline for a 35-minute short and sweet visit where even driving through Grossmoorn is an epic experience. So we soaked it all up, rain or shine. We left it to chance to walk 3 kilometers in under 30 minutes to secure a fjord boat tour, but there were no spots left when we arrived. So we took a side trail to the banks of the Western Brook Pond while soaking up the views, and I loved our adventure for exactly what it was, because when Parks Canada says the perfect spot to enjoy sunsets in Grossmoorn, then it's at least worth checking out. So on past the lighthouse, down the windy path through the thick of the Tuckamore Forest, beckoned by the sunset, down to the rocky shoreline and back with a guiding light at Lobster Cove Head Lighthouse. This will be a pretty quick trail through bent trees, bogs with carnivorous pitcher plants, and the Berryhead Pond for a captivating 35-minute stroll. It's a 4-hour trail, but we started mid-afternoon town after the rainstorm and only spent 121 minutes on the wet path, going halfway to the coast, then turned back because we had one last park adventure planned before sunset. It was epic that our last Gross Mountain adventure was experiencing the Earth's exposed mantle from when Africa and North America collided millions of years ago because we walked the Tablelands Trail at sunset. Experiencing the Earth's inner soul is a bizarre and beautiful way to appreciate this magnificent planet. Oh, we were having a time, Eastern Canada. Our bittersweet Newfoundland goodbye started around sunrise with a 3-hour, 31-minute drive of beautiful views and some pea soup thick fog en route to Port aux Basques, and a 7-hour, 23-minute ferry ride with treats to Nova Scotia, Sydney, where we listened to the world's largest fiddle at sunset.